welcome back to my channel. Happy Wednesday. I'm finally doing this video and it is Wednesday actually. So I don't usually upload on Wednesdays, you know I'm Fridays and Mondays, but I was really thrilled when you wanted to see this, and I had so many questions on my Instagram about getting this video up and just questions about my business. So in today's video, I am going to be telling you about my online business that I've had for the past 5 years, and all driven through social media. And I want to tell you about my successes. I want to tell you about the mistakes I've made. I want to give you advice. I feel like I'm at a really good point to give advice, and you guys could take that into consideration on all of my experiences if you really want to have a business of your own, because there are stresses, there are a lot of things to it that don't really make the eye, and you don't see it online, you don't see people talk about it, it's behind closed doors. And I want to talk about those things, but I also want to talk about how awesome it is to have your own brand, and how motivated and passionate you will be about something that you've put in all your effort and all of your own work into. So we're going to be talking about that today. I have my coffee. If you don't have your coffee yet, go grab your coffee, because this is going to be a chatty video. Girls are sleeping. They're going to probably wake up in about 30 minutes. So I just thought this would be the perfect time. So nothing is more honest of when I am just sitting here talking to you guys than having notes on my phone or knowing exactly what it is that I want to say, because I feel like when I did my alopecia video, I got out everything I wanted to get out to you, and I feel like I explained everything very well, and I got it all off my mind from my heart. So that is what I want to do in today's video, and just talk to you from the heart, because that is everything I put into my business. It's all of my own passion, my creativity, my inspiration has all come from me. So we're going to talk about that today. If you want to see more videos business related, please give this video a thumbs up to let me know. If you have not yet subscribed, please subscribe. We are at 249,000 subscribers, so close to 250. I will do a big giveaway for you guys and show you how much I care and love you so much. So I really I'm so appreciative for that. So thank you. But let's roll right into this video, because I have so much to say. So first things first, I want to talk about social media presence, because this is so important if you plan on having a business online. So if you are, and I mean, everything I'm talking about isn't going to work for every single business. I just want to say that I'm not a business expert. This is strictly coming from my own experience and what I've dealt with. So first and foremost, I did want to say that. But social media presence, if you are planning to start a business online, you have to be on social media. It is a must. And I'm talking Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. Your followers and your subscribers, your customers are all one. So no matter what, you have to have your brand out there. And I think it's a scary thing. I think just like starting a YouTube channel, I know a lot of business owners that are scared to start a YouTube channel and be out there, because it is a scary thing having your life online. But I mean, I think that's the chance we take when starting our own business. There's so many risks and so many things that we have to do in order to have, our business thrive, and all your creativity is coming from within you. So I feel like if you share that with the world, you'll be surprised on the positivity that you'll get back. I have never been so inspired by something in my entire life than my own business. And that is speaking the truth. And a lot of that motivation and inspiration comes from you guys, and just loving my products so much and using my brushes every day. Like, there is nothing that I love more than that, besides my girls. I'm talking business. But I obviously am so honored and happy anytime I see any of my customers promoting my line. It means the world to me. So I think when you can turn your followers and your, the people you're engaged with online into customers, that is where you're starting. Like, that is your entire business. Those are your customers. That's your loyalty right there. So the first thing I want to say is, if you are not commenting back to your subscribers, your followers, if you're not liking other people's posts, there's something wrong. There is something majorly wrong, because you should be doing those things. It is most important to be engaged and talking to your audience. What do you even have a brand for if you're not talking to your audience? And it's kind of surprising to me how many people don't do this. This is the first thing I tell everybody when starting your own business. an online business. If you want an online business, you need to do these things. You need to engage with your followers. It is so important. And I honestly think that I have done an awesome job at that. And if you've known me over the years, you know I respond back to my DMs. I respond back to comments. I take that time. Doesn't matter if it takes me hours. I take that time because it's important to me. And I'm not talking to myself. Like, I'm not talking to myself. Exactly why I don't do many vlogs on my other channel. There's no comments right now. And until I have my comments back, what's the point? Like, I honestly, I'm on here for you guys as much as you are, you know, for me. And it's just a 50-50 relationship. And I think you have to develop that. You have to learn that after being online for so long, right? So I didn't realize that at first. One mistake I made, I think, when I started my company is I thought I had to be behind the company. So if you remember the first year when I started my business, I got way behind it. I wasn't even, no pictures of me. It was all pictures of models, modeling my lashes. Yes, I used to have lashes, my brushes, and doing all these fancy photo shoots. And I was like, what is going on right now? Because I was the face, and I was like, my social media started with me. And I was like, what is going on? Like, it's not, I don't know, it wasn't doing as well at that point. My launch went great. I sold out instantly from all of you guys. And then after that, it kind of just went downhill a little bit. I was like, what is going on? And I realized that people really did miss seeing me. And I slowed down on YouTube. I stopped YouTube for 6 months, which was a big no-no, because I will get to this point. YouTube has been the biggest influential part of my business I've ever had. And I will explain why in a minute here. But yeah, that was the biggest mistake I've ever made. And people didn't really know what my brand was anymore. People were like, we can't see you. You're not, you know, you're not the face of your brand. And I just think there are a lot of brands that are obviously like that, that are in stores, that are in, you know, online presence is completely different than being in Nordstrom's or Halt Renfrew or Sephora. Like, it's way different. And if you plan to just be online and not in stores, you really have to push your social media presence. It is something that is going to bring you in a lot of income. It's going to pay your bills at the end of the day, and it's going to inspire you to create more and build your brand more. So that is honestly where I'm telling you, you have to focus. And yes, I think followers is a big thing. It's not everything. And I'm going to say this once, and hopefully you guys will always remember this. But honestly, it's quality over quantity. And I say that and I say that and I say that because from experience, I have had coupon codes in my online store. I have had someone that has 1 million followers. I have had someone that has 30,000 followers. And the one that had 30,000 followers brought me in way more revenue, brought in way more orders than the 1 million subscribers. And that is what I'm talking about when it comes to online presence and engagement. Engagement. You can have 1 million followers and only have a connection with 20 of those people that you comment back to. I think for me, it boggles my mind when influencers and business owners don't take the time to respond. It just honestly is so important. And I feel like I am really great with engagement, and therefore I do think I'm influential, and I will say that. And not only just from my brand, but as myself just being a YouTuber and just you guys knowing me without my business. You know my girls, you know my family, you know Ryan, you know the ins and outs of just everything I do on a daily basis. And I've opened up about my hair loss. I've opened up about everything in my life, really. I think once people can trust you is when you've really done something right. And I think for me, it's always been that I want to be authentic. I want to be myself. And trust me, it is actually not easy to do that and open up as you think it may be. So I feel like maybe in the last 3 years is when I really opened up and I got more genuine and honest in my videos. Not that I've never not been genuine, but I've been more myself, and I wasn't so pressured to be like, hey guys, how are you? Today's video. That's how I started my channel. I'm not even joking. I had to be like theatrical. And of course, some channels are like that, but do you have to be like that? No, you can be yourself. And this is me. This is who I am. I talk like this. I don't talk like this. And that's where a lot of people think, like when starting on you know, their own YouTube channel, they have to be theatrical, and not everyone's like that every day. There may be some, but not everybody. So please be yourself when starting a YouTube channel. Please be yourself when starting your own business. And be open and honest. It's easy enough, and you will get great feedback, great response, positivity, love sent your way. Like, I cannot tell you how broken I have been since losing my hair, and after making that video, the amount of love and generosity and just pure heart and soul that I got from everybody, what just made me feel so much better about myself. And I think that is one of the hardest things about having your own business, is you take on all that stress, you take on everything and bring it home. There's no off switch. So that is something you have to remember when starting your own business. You have to be in it 1000%. And I say that from experience. Like, you can't half-ass anything, like, or else it's not gonna work. And there are so many successful business owners that I have seen, that I'm friends with, not just myself. And I am honestly, like, I'm so proud of seeing so many boss babes out there that are starting their own lines and, you know, making themselves vulnerable to opening up and sharing their creativity with the world. It's sometimes a scary thing. I started making lip balms in Ryan's oven and almost burning down his kitchen. So let me tell you, when I had no idea what kind of online business I wanted to do. All I knew is that I wanted to have my own brand. That is all you need to start with. You don't have to have a full detailed plan. I don't have a script writing this. This is all coming from in here, and that is all you need. If you want to do something, do it. You don't have to perfect it. You don't have to do it 100% right, but you have to give 100% into it. And I think it is so important for people to know this, that like aren't given anything, people that don't have money to start up, you know, $1 million business like that, people that don't have all this fancy filming equipment, you can still do these things with your phone. You can film with your phone. You don't have to have a fancy, you know, a fancy camera. You don't have to have $1 million to start a company. You really don't. And that is another question I get asked all the time, is how much money do you need to start your own business? Now, there's a lot of videos I have seen. You know, I've started my business with $100. I've started my business from nothing. So I don't know what, you know, where that's coming from, because I honestly think you do need a little bit of money. I would say a safe amount is $5,000. And I know that may sound like a lot to you, but if you save up, that won't take you long. And that is what I did. I had to do that from savings of jobs that I absolutely hated. But behind the scenes, when I would get off of work, I would literally go home, organize all my makeup, take pretty photos, post them on Instagram, get my following, create something that I knew was going to be so much bigger than what I was actually doing in that moment. And that is where I started. If you remember me, I was taking photos of my vanity 5 years ago in Calgary, actually. And I remember Ryan, like everyone in my life pushed me to start a YouTube channel. And Miss Liz Hart, we started a YouTube channel at the same time. I'm so proud of her, by the way. If you are watching this, Liz, like, I am so proud that we have accomplished so much together throughout the years. And if you are not following her, another boss babe you have to follow. She is unbelievable. Such a great mom, great soul. Oh my God, I'm gonna get emotional. But also someone that has really helped me, like, with my business as well. So I think no matter what, this is getting me to the next point, is you need to create relationships with other influencers that do the same things as you. One thing that I learned, and this goes back to when I was talking about the 1 million subscribers versus the 30,000. So people like Madison Miller, people like Miss Liz Hart, that put 1000% into their videos, into their content, that are so authentic. Like, you can just see the amount of influence that they have. And I know that being their friend, but I also know that being a business owner and seeing it, like seeing people using their coupon codes, people emailing me saying, oh my God, when are you gonna get the Liz Hart set in? Or, you know, I've had brush sets under both of those girls, so I know exactly how influential they are. And it's inspiring. It really is. It's truly beautiful. And also something with Liz, this is just something I do want to say because she's such a genuine person. I know this is going a little off track, but this is just, the friendships made online is one of the biggest things that have motivated me. So with Liz, I remember I was gonna pay her a cut out of people using her coupon code. She said, no, I don't want any of that money. I want a bigger percentage off for my followers. I still remember that And like, I'm talking, there's not a lot of people that will do stuff like that. That is such a beautiful thing. And Madison, the same thing. Like, they are just such beautiful people, and there's so many people you're gonna meet online that do the same things as you, that will inspire you in different ways. And that's also another question I get, like, how do you compete with everyone else's businesses online? That's a very hard question. I've had people try to copy my brushes, as you know, videos that I've made in the past, and no matter what, at the end of the day, people are buying your products. People are buying things that you recommend because it's coming from you. Even if someone were to come out with my brushes, I honestly wouldn't, yeah, it obviously is something. I don't think people should be copycats. I think you should have your own creativity and start your own business from within you, right? So, but at the end of the day, I don't think it's something you guys should worry about, because people are going to be buying something that you're telling them to buy because they trust you. So one thing also where a lot of people ask me, what is it that you do for a living? I get asked this all the time, especially just on a daily basis in the real world, and people saying like, oh, like what do you do? I always say, oh, I have my own online business. Oh, what do you sell? Makeup brushes. Is that all you do? Do you do anything else? Do you sell anything else? Nope. And that's okay. You know what? I said this on my Instagram. Not a lot of other people are going to understand what it is that you do every day to have an online business, to run your own online store, to take charge of your fulfillment center, to comment back to all the comments, to do emails, to do, you know, all the back end work that I have not even talked about yet. Finances, accounting, bookkeeping, receipt bank. There is everything that comes along with having a business that you don't see, right? So I think having yourself organized is top priority. And I'm just telling you guys all this from the heart, because I've had to deal with all these things in my life, and I feel like I've not been able to face them until more recently. I'd say in the last few years, when I'm like, okay, I have 2 babies now. I really need to concentrate, because this is my full income. This is my life. This is our future. And I really need to actually prioritize things. I need to get this done. I need to do this. Like, you need to make schedules with yourself. And I think that's the biggest thing. I work home with my husband now. Everyone's asking, what does Ryan do for a living? Ryan works with me now. He, you know, has his refrigeration mechanic, gas fitter. That's what he does by trade. But right now he's with me, he's working, and you know, it's not always easy working at home together. So I think that's also another thing that I could go on and on about in a video. Well, oh, that scared me. A bird. Whew. Sorry, you guys. Okay, a bird just like jumped on the house and freaked me out for a minute. But anyways, yeah. So what I was saying is, I think no matter what, you just have to give it your all. And I hope I'm giving you enough tips and going over everything as much. Like, this is still coming, like, from not looking at anything. So I just wanted it to be as open and honest and transparent as it possibly could. So another thing I think that is huge with having your own online business is obviously wholesale. That has been one of the biggest, obviously, accomplishments that I've had with my brand. So we're talking Ipsy, we're talking BoxyCharm, subscriptions. Like, it is an honor to be in Ipsy bags. I cannot even tell you enough. I never dreamt of actually being in an Ipsy bag, and the fact that I have, it blows my mind. And I actually have a brush coming up in their Made bag, by the way, so look out for that. But when I see all of you guys email me, message me that you've gotten my brush, like, it makes me so happy. They send brushes out all over the world, and it is crazy to think that my product, something that I have designed and created, has been somewhere all over the world. But it has been, and I think that is something you have to realize too, is, you know, you're gonna have a worldwide brand. You're gonna be open to millions of people, and that is an amazing thing. No matter what, at the end of the day, as much stress that I may have and hiccups and, you know, negativity comes my way, I honestly fight that back with all the positivity that I have seen. I had someone comment the other day, like, your wigs are so ugly, your babies are ugly. Like, okay, like, I have no idea who you are or, you know, what you're upset about, but that's not my problem. And that is something that you kind of have to face, is you're gonna get backlash on your brand, you're gonna get it on you, but that's honestly, the amount of positivity is going to be 90%. You're gonna have that little 10% of haters, but you gotta just not think about them at all. And they're not important. And sometimes I need recollection because I put myself up there so much that sometimes I'm like, wow, like, you know, it does get tough, but you need someone to talk to. Like, I tell Ryan about these things. I tell my friends, I'll have a glass of wine and be like, okay, let's just like calm down and not think about this negativity, because I'm not a negative person. I don't need trolls to tell me how to live my life. I can go on about this for so long, but that is a point that I wanted to make. So please do not be upset about that. If you need someone to talk to, just message me and I will give you a little bit of positivity, and it just takes 2 seconds to be nice to someone. So yeah. The other thing I do want to talk about is, like I said, friendships, relationships, other people that do the same things as you do. Do not feel as though it's a competition. And I am friends with so many other people that have makeup brands that, you know, make makeup brush holders, and I promote people's businesses all the time. I love to do that because I think there's so many boss babes that have just, you know, created such beautiful products that I think is just awesome. Like, I don't know how else to explain that. I think it's so beautiful that people work so hard day in and day out for hours and hours to design something and create something, because it does take a long time. And I do want to mention manufacturing, because I know a lot of questions come from that, is like, how do you manufacture your products? So this is something that took me over a year to find, and it goes through months and months of sampling and different samples from different manufacturers. Do not rush into it. Do not rush into the first manufacturer that you find, and it needs to work both ways. You need to have a relationship with this manufacturer. Like, you actually have to build a relationship and build something with them, because if they are making your products for years and years, like, that's someone that you're gonna have in your life for a long time. So with my manufacturers, I went through a lot before I started my brand. I'm talking like 30, 40 different manufacturers. I went through hundreds and hundreds of dollars, if not thousands, because I wasn't finding the right brushes. I wasn't finding the right manufacturer. I didn't like some of the things I was seeing. So obviously, you know, I have my duo jewels, my twin jewels, as I like to call them now, because I feel like it is just such a blessing. How crazy is it that I have 2 jewels on my brushes and I had twins? Like, I still think I'm such a believer in just like fate and like good karma. Like, it's just unbelievable to me. And it feels like that's why there's such a big part of my online presence and brand now, is because they really, like, they are everything to me. They're my inspiration at the end of the day. So I don't forget that. So my twin jewels that I have on my brushes, that was something I knew I wanted to do, and a lot of companies wouldn't do it. So I mean, yeah, it took me a very, very long time to actually get what it was that I wanted. And I mean, the brushes that I started out with are nothing compared to the brushes I have now. So that is also another thing, is you will see yourself grow and build with your brand as much as you are as a person. Like, I've grown so much individually as I have with my brand. As you can tell, my products get better and better and better, and that's okay. It's all a learning curve and learning process, and my quality has gotten a lot better. There are things you'll perfect with your product as time comes. Another thing I want to say, there's so much communication that you can have with your manufacturer, as far as like WeChat, there's WhatsApp, emails, FaceTime, Skype, like so many things. I used to use Skype a few years ago, so that's what I used, and I'm talking like I'd have Skype calls at 3 in the morning, because obviously where I get my products made, which is China, it's like backwards. So their morning is our night, you know. So it was not the easiest. I was definitely up and almost living like backwards at a time. So I remember I was so tired in the mornings because I'd be on these calls for so long and so late at night, but it's worth it. It really is. It takes that initial, you know, few months of really, really trying to start your brand that way behind the scenes, and getting a manufacturer, getting your product sampled, and really narrowing down your product is key before you start anything, before you start your online presence, your social media presence, everything like that. Creating your brand is most important. So that was something that I really focused on, was, wow, I really need to create a relationship and have a good relationship with my manufacturers. So yeah, anyway, so that I had a different packaging manufacturer, and I actually found her through a friend of mine. So, you know, my shipping boxes and everything like that, that comes from my friend's manufacturer as well. So you also, like, if you can make friends in the industry, you don't be afraid to ask like some of your friends for information. That is something I've done, and it's worked out to my benefit. So this is why I'm open and honest about doing things like this, because it's things you can do, and there are people there that will help you in situations like this. So and it's great. Like, I feel like I have a lot of friends now that also have businesses that are online and on Amazon, and I just love talking about it because not everyone knows about these sorts of businesses when they're online, and e-commerce and Shopify and everything like that. I do use Shopify, and I feel like it took me years to figure all of it out and create my own store. A lot of people ask me, who built your website? I created my own website. There are like pre-made sites that you can purchase through Shopify, but as far as designing it and, like, you know, pictures and content and writing and everything like that, I did myself. But there are areas within a business where I do think you can have extra help. So for me, my sliders, my artwork, some of my writing, I have had a writer actually write them, and also an editor. So for my videos, I do have an editor, and these little things I didn't realize till later because I was trying to conquer it all. I was trying to do it all at once myself. It was just way too much. I'm like, how the heck do I do this and fulfill orders at the same time? Like, it just was not working. Plus I had my employee Rhoda, which also was a huge, huge accomplishment for my brand, having those extra hands and her help. And she still works for me to this day. So it's been, I think, 4 years that she's been with my brand. And obviously you would have seen her a lot more when I was back in Vancouver, because that's where she's located. But you know, as far as having an online brand, you can really have anybody work for you anywhere in the world. Like, they don't have to physically be with you unless you had to have them doing stuff, you know, like photo shoots and stuff like that. But I don't do those things anymore, really, because I have my own. But yeah, I feel like everything has really changed from the way I wanted my brand to be perceived as this, like, you know, I don't know, magazine ad looking brand. And I just, no, I wanted it to be more, and which is why I separated both of my Instagram pages. So I have my beauty page, and then I also have my main page, because there's so much content I want to share, but I wanted to separate them. And with my brand, I love reposting your photos. I love, you know, seeing all the creativity you bring to my brand. So I love reposting. I love posting photos of my girls and stuff like that, because that is a representation of my brand and me. So where am I going with this? I feel like I've been talking forever, but at the end of the day, I just want you to realize that having a business is not just a luxury. It's not everything people perceive it to be, because I have a lot of friends that are like, oh my God, it must be so awesome to have your own brand and work for yourself, and not, you know, you can be your own boss. And at times I'm like, yeah, it's awesome. I love it so, so much, but it doesn't mean it's not hard. It is very difficult to be your own boss and push yourself, inspire yourself, motivate yourself. It's even harder. And like I said, you're taking home all that stress at the end of the day. So I think a balance is key. And just having enough family time, having enough you time, self-love is important. Having enough time working on your business, because you do have to put in hours to, you know, to make a successful brand. That's the whole point of having your own business. So I think as long as you have all of these things I've been telling you in your head, in your mindset, you are going to do so amazing at whatever it is that you want to do. And I think no matter what, you do have to believe in yourself and know, have dreams, have goals, have, you know, like, you have to visualize where you want it to be. And I think for me, it's always been like, for me, I've always thought of something like Ipsy. Having like a vision board is so beneficial, and it's going to help you for setting goals, making goals. And for me, I have those all in my head. Like, I have had dreams since I was a little girl to have my own makeup brand. And I feel like once you hit a successful time in your life, that's when, like, we have a huge life crisis going on right now, which is the corona. And I mean, we've been at home for the last few weeks, and I mean, at a time like this, I'm still so thankful and appreciative for things in my life. And when you have your own brand, you have to constantly think of things like that when you have an online brand, because it's a complete different world than it is from 9 to 5. I've worked 9 to 5 jobs. I have gone home and not thought about anything. Like, when the heck have I done that? Like, I cannot remember the last time I've gone home and not thought about anything. Like, that does not happen for me. So there are definitely luxuries to having your own business that I do want to mention before I end this video, that are obviously, you know, you could make a lot of money from having your own business. You will have so much appreciation for life because you've created something on your own. You've done it by yourself. And I think no matter what, at the end of the day for me, and this is something Ryan has always told me as well, is stay true to who you are and always be humble. I think no matter what, no matter how well my brand does, no matter all the things that I have in my life, this big house that we're building right now, all these things, at the end of the day, I remain humble and I stay humble and thankful. So you have to feel like you're blessed every day, all day, because I would not have this if it weren't for you guys. And that is something I've always realized and I've always known. And especially, I may have the creativity in my head, I may have dreams, I may have all these things, but my brand would be nowhere unless it were for you guys. So that is something that I try to prove all the time, that I give back and that I love you guys as much as you love me, and it really, really is a two-way relationship, like I've always said. And appreciating is something so important that you have to do. So just please take all of these into consideration when you are starting your own brand, because I think it's so important. And that's why I'm telling you all of these things. I know a lot of other business videos are all of like the book work and like the, you know, those aspects to it, and the money aspects and like savings and budgeting, all these things, which of course they are 100% to do with a business. But I think self-love, appreciation, and hard work, dedication comes from you, comes from inside. And you do not have to be some savvy business boss, you know, that is so, like, I've never been book smart. Like, I don't know how else to put it. I had never got the best of grades. And I remember, like, I always knew I was never going to be like a doctor, a lawyer, and, you know, I always knew that I wanted to do something in the beauty field. And not to say that we're not, you know, successful people. Obviously, I think this is such a new successful thing, is social media and online presence, YouTubers, things that never existed back when. Like, my mom doesn't even know a lot about my business because, you know, they're in a different time, in a different era. Now it's social media. So, I mean, it does have its ups and downs, but at the end of the day, it is amazing. And I'm so thankful. I'm so appreciative. And I love what I do. I love, love, love what I do. And YouTube has just been such a nice hobby for me. And I still call it a hobby because it is not my, it's not my big income at the end of the day. My brand is my baby. It is my full income at the end of the day. And I have turned down so many opportunities on YouTube and sponsorships because they don't work for me, and I'm not money hungry. And I think that is one thing that I'm really happy that I've done with my YouTube, because I know a lot of people have quit their jobs to pursue YouTube full time. And I'm glad I started my business first, because I may not have had that opportunity. And I, no matter what, want to be truthful on my channel. If I don't need $100, I don't need $1,000 to talk about something if I don't like it. And I hope people feel that same way with my product. Obviously, I want it to be organic. I want it to be authentic and real. And that's what it has been. So I'm just thankful. And I can hear the girls kind of getting up right now. So I hope I've kind of gone through everything in this video. And obviously I had questions. I will answer a few. Hopefully I have a few minutes. I did answer a few on my Instagram too. Whatever I don't go through, I will answer on my Instagram. How do you decide when to launch new products pricing? Okay, so that's also another thing I did want to mention. I usually like to go by seasons. I like to launch something in spring, summer, you know, the holidays and stuff like that. But what I've realized over time is shipping is not your friend. So do not say you're gonna launch something unless it's physically at your fulfillment center or physically in your hands. I've had this mistake so many times in the past where I have launched something before it's physically in my hand, and they're like, oh, sorry, you know, it's going through customs, or oh, sorry, you know, it's on hold for another 2 weeks. So don't do that. There's so many shipping glitches that can happen. Even in my fulfillment centers, which I haven't talked about a whole lot, but that was definitely life-changing when that happened. Instead of physically actually doing my orders, which was taking forever at the time. So yes, I have fulfillment centers and it'll help you out so much. And I know Amazon has a fulfillment center as well. And obviously when you have other people packing your orders, you're able to do so much more with your business and growing it. So that's really important. And I think once I had that is when I was really able to not be so worried about having to spend so many hours fulfilling products and orders. So that was life-changing, definitely for me. But yeah, I like to do it on seasons, and pricing is just something you have to figure out in the beginning. And obviously I have coupon codes. My brand is, you know, I offer coupon codes all the time. I have sales all the time. So I do reflect on that. And I definitely think that I have great pricing, and you kind of want to be in the realm of like everybody else that's in your field. You don't want to have like crazy high prices. Another question I got was PR, like how many people do you have on your PR? And my PR honestly always changes, and I want to say I have around like 50 solid PR people. So what PR is, that's when you send regular packages out so they can promote your products. And a lot of them are actually my friends that I have on YouTube and Instagram. So they're just wonderful people, and I would not have my brand without them because they are key factors and they're promoting my brand as much as I am. So, and they get so excited too. Like it's honestly so amazing, and I don't think I could ever get sick of seeing people with my product. And I have to be honest, it's just the most amazing feeling in the world. I feel so good that I got this video up. I feel like I've been wanting to just talk about my business and just re-thank you guys for all the support and love you've given me, because I feel like I don't get to say that in all of my videos. And sometimes I'm doing, you know, all sorts of different videos that it's not really ever business related, and I'm showing you guys my makeup and my beauty room and my home and all this stuff. And I feel like it's nice to just sit back and remember and realize like how lucky I am and how lucky all of us are for having our own businesses. I think it's so beautiful. So if you have an online business, please comment it down below. I want everyone to see your business and tell me a little bit about your business as well. I would love to see it, and also just see like all of, you know, we all do these things every day, and it's not like, I know I often don't, I don't get to, as much as I love doing YouTube, I don't talk about my business every day on my channel. And I feel like it's just nice to kind of reflect on all those hardworking days and hardworking hours that I've put into my business to get it to where it's at today. So I love what I do. I really do. I'm so proud of it, and I can't wait for you guys to see like what else I have to give you and to share with you, and to hopefully inspire some of you to maybe start your own business someday. And I don't mean to be harsh in this video on the truth and the realization of just how hard it can be, because it can be hard, but it is so, at the same time, it is so rewarding. Like there's nothing more rewarding than having your own business. So I am finished now, I promise. It has been a long video, but let me know your businesses down below in the comments. And the girls are about to get up and have some lunch. So this is my time to spend with my girls, and then I'll be back to work right after that. And that's kind of how I've set my routine and schedule, and it's been working. So I will see you guys on Friday, because I uploaded Wednesday. I still have my normal routine. I appreciate your love and support so much. If you have not yet subscribed, please subscribe now, join the fam, and I will see you guys on Friday.